Imagine it's late at night. A lone figure sits by a dim candle, scribbling in a journal. This isn't a monk or a modern self-help guru. It's the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Why would the most powerful man in the world 1800 years ago end his day by writing to himself? Because he knew a secret. A strong mind is built at night. Surprising, right? What if you could use those same ancient Stoic nighttime rituals to calm your racing mind and even boost your next day's productivity? Stick around, because that's exactly what we're exploring. Introduction: Stoicism and your night routine. Welcome to Nighttime Stoic Rituals for a Stronger Mind. In today's video, we're diving into how the ancient philosophy of Stoicism can supercharge your bedtime routine. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, or just someone looking to end the day on a positive note, these practices can help you wind down while also training your mind to be resilient and focused. The Stoics, think Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, weren't airy philosophers. They were practical people who dealt with stress, loss, and responsibilities just like we do. In fact, Marcus Aurelius stopped almost every night to practice a series of spiritual exercises, reminders designed to make him humble, patient, empathetic, generous, and strong. If a Roman emperor found time for a bedtime mindset ritual, there must be something to it. These nightly habits helped him stay grounded and wise, and they can do the same for us. So why are nighttime rituals important? Think about it. The day's done. You're exhausted. But your mind is replaying that awkward conversation, worrying about tomorrow's tasks, or scrolling endlessly on your phone. A chaotic night leads to a chaotic mind. By adding a few mindful Stoic practices before bed, you create a peaceful buffer zone between your hectic day and your sleep. This not only helps you sleep better, but also ensures you wake up with a clearer head and a stronger sense of purpose. It's like giving your brain a warm-down stretch after a workout. And over time, these small habits compound, strengthening your mental muscles. In this video, we'll mix a bit of storytelling with step-by-step guidance on 5 key Stoic nighttime rituals: reflection, memento mori, negative visualization, journaling, and preparing for tomorrow. Don't worry, these terms will all make sense soon, and you can start practicing them tonight. Let's jump in with the first ritual, one that Marcus Aurelius and Seneca both swear by: nightly reflection. Reflection, reviewing your day, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. Our first Stoic ritual is reflection. This is all about mentally reviewing your day. It's simple, but incredibly powerful. Rather than letting the day's events blur together or ignoring what happened, Stoics deliberately took time to reflect each evening. Story time. Picture Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher, laying down his pen after a long day. In his private tent on a military campaign, or in the palace after dealing with endless petitions, he quietly reviews the day's events in his mind. What did I do? Where did I do well? Where did I falter? Marcus wrote Meditations, his personal journal, during moments like these. He wasn't cataloging what he ate or who he met. Instead, as one philosopher noted, Marcus put down in the midnight dimness not the events of the day or the plans of the morrow, but the ideals and aspirations that a rare spirit lived by. In other words, he reflected on how he lived and thought, not just what he did. How you can do it. After you turn off the TV or close your laptop at night, take a minute in the quiet to run through your day in your mind. Be honest with yourself. The Stoic playwright Seneca described his own nightly routine like this: "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." We should do the same, minus the wife and candle, perhaps. Ask yourself, what went well today? Did I act according to my values? Did I show patience when stuck in traffic? Was I kind, or did I snap at someone? Where could I improve? By gently reviewing your actions, you become your own coach. The key is to do this without harsh self-criticism. Stoicism isn't about beating yourself up, it's about learning. If you notice you got angry at work, acknowledge it and think, okay, I lost my temper. How can I handle that better next time? If you skipped your workout, note it and plan to get back on track tomorrow. Reflection shines a light on your day, so you can see both the wins to be grateful for and the mistakes to learn from. It's like checking a map after a journey to see where you wandered off course so you can adjust. This Stoic habit builds a stronger mind by continuously learning from each day's experiences. Transitioning from reflection, many Stoics found that putting those thoughts on paper enhanced the effect. This brings us to our next ritual, journaling. Journaling, putting reflections into words. If reflection is thinking about your day, journaling is about writing it down. You might have noticed that Marcus Aurelius's reflections survived in the form of his journal. We know it as meditations today. Writing was a huge part of Stoic practice. As Stoic teachers often advised, the thoughts should become words so that they might become works. In plain terms, capturing your thoughts in writing helps you turn ideas into real changes. Why journal at night? There's something almost magical about transferring the jumble in your head onto paper. It brings clarity. Have you ever had so many worries or ideas swirling in your mind that you couldn't sleep? Journaling is a brain dump. You get it all out. The good, the bad, the anxious, the hopeful. Once it's on the page, your mind can sigh in relief. The Stoics journaled to grapple with their emotions and to remind themselves of lessons. Marcus Aurelius's late-night writings, for example, were him pep-talking himself or reminding himself to stay humble, to focus on what he can control, to be a good person despite the day's challenges. We're lucky to peek into those thoughts. They were never meant to be published. He wrote them for himself, and that's the key. Your journal is for you. No judgment, no filter. How to do it? Keep a notebook by your bed or use a notes app, though writing by hand can be more reflective. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each night writing about your day. You can write freely or use prompts. A simple approach is to jot down answers to a few questions. What events or moments stand out from today? How did I respond to them? Did I keep my cool when things went wrong? Did I act with honesty and kindness? What did I learn today? About myself or about life in general? What am I grateful for today? This one is a bonus that Stoics implicitly practiced by appreciating what they had. Don't worry about perfect sentences or grammar. Marcus Aurelius certainly didn't care about style points in his private notes. Write as if no one will ever read it, because likely no one will. This is your time with your thoughts. If you struggled with something, writing it down can help you see it from a distance and come up with a solution. If you succeeded, writing it down reinforces the positive lesson. For example, if you resisted the urge to procrastinate and finally finished that project, note how you did it and how it felt. This reinforces the habit for the future. Journaling also ties into modern productivity hacks. Many productivity experts say that doing a brain dump at night, listing unfinished tasks or worries, can help you sleep better. It's out of your head and onto paper, so your brain can relax. The Stoics were ahead of the curve here. By journaling, you're not only reflecting, you're also clearing mental clutter. It's a form of self-therapy and planning rolled into one. Now, as you reflect and journal, you might naturally start pondering bigger questions like life and death. Yes, we're going there next. Our third ritual is a core Stoic practice that puts everything in perspective. Memento Mori. Memento Mori, remembering mortality. Memento Mori is Latin for remember you must die. Okay, that sounds a bit morbid for a bedtime routine, I know, but stay with me. The Stoics had a very good reason for this one. Memento Mori is about reflecting on the finite nature of life. Far from being depressing, it's meant to be liberating and motivating. As one article put it, the concept may seem morbid at first, but it holds profound wisdom. By reflecting on the finite nature of our existence, we're reminded to cherish the present and let go of the worries that consume us. In short, remembering that we and our loved ones won't be here forever can actually make us appreciate our life more and sweat the small stuff less. How the Stoics practiced it? The Stoics, especially guys like Epictetus and Seneca, encouraged people to regularly contemplate mortality. Epictetus famously advised, "As you kiss your son goodnight, whisper to yourself, he may be dead in the morning." Whoa, heavy. But Epictetus wasn't being cruel. He lost his own loved ones and knew the pain. The point of that exercise was to make you a more loving, present parent now, rather than taking your child or anyone for granted. Marcus Aurelius, who endured the loss of many of his children, wrote reminders to himself like, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." That's from Meditations. He wanted to ensure he lived each day fully and virtuously, because who knows if tomorrow will come. This thought gave him perspective. Why waste time on anger or pettiness when life is so short and precious? How you can do it? Gently. Before bed, spend a quiet minute on this thought. Life is temporary, and that's okay. You might reflect on the day with this lens. If today were my last day, would I be content with how I lived it? Or have I told my family I love them enough? If you find you spent most of the day on trivial worries or grudges, Memento Mori gently nudges you to realign. It can be as simple as looking at the stars or the night sky and realizing, I'm part of something larger and my time is limited, so let me make it count. Some people keep an object or a reminder, like a coin or a bracelet, with Memento Mori on it. Even simply saying the words to yourself can be a ritual. Memento Mori. I too must die someday and I have no idea when. Strangely, you might find this thought gives you a sense of peace. Today's annoyances start to shrink, and gratitude for being alive right now swells. Remember, the goal isn't to be sad or frightened, it's to be awakened. When you remember that your days are limited, you're less likely to waste an evening doom scrolling or stewing in regret. Instead, you'll have the urge to express love, to forgive, and to use your time wisely. This directly strengthens your mind by aligning your priorities. It builds an inner resilience too. If we practice accepting the idea of death, then we won't be utterly crushed when life inevitably confronts us with loss. As the Stoics believed, contemplating mortality is the ultimate perspective check. It makes a strong mind unshakable by fear. After contemplating something as profound as memento mori, our next ritual might feel like a natural extension. It's another Stoic exercise that deals with life's difficulties, but in a very practical way. Negative visualization. Negative visualization, preparing your mind for challenges. Now we turn to negative visualization, known in fancy Latin as premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. Despite the name, it's not about being a pessimist or dwelling on negativity. It's actually a tool to build resilience and gratitude. The idea is to visualize things that could go wrong or losses that could happen before they happen, so that you're mentally prepared. Modern Stoics suggest doing this exercise regularly, even daily, at a set time. Some do it in the morning, some prefer at night. It's like a vaccination for your mind, a small dose of what-if stress now to strengthen your immunity to real stress later. Why do this at night? Consider this. As you lie in bed, you might already be thinking of tomorrow. Perhaps you're anxious about a meeting or hoping your commute isn't awful or wondering how to handle a difficult conversation. Negative visualization takes those vague anxieties and turns them into a purposeful exercise. Instead of worrying, you're training. For example, a Stoic might deliberately imagine, okay, tomorrow, my coworker might be in a bad mood and insult my work. How will I respond? I could get angry, but that's one option. What would a Stoic do? Probably remain calm, remember not to take it personally, and respond with reason or even empathy. By visualizing this tonight, if it does happen tomorrow, you won't be caught off guard. It'll feel almost familiar, and you can say to yourself, I expected this challenge. I know what to do. And if it doesn't happen, well, great. You've still gained a mental exercise and perhaps even some gratitude that the worst didn't occur. Marcus Aurelius actually did a form of this each morning. He would remind himself, today I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, and so on. By doing so, he wasn't becoming cynical. He was arming his mind. So if someone was rude or difficult, he'd think, I knew this would happen, and I'm ready to not let it get to me. You can adapt this at night as prep for tomorrow. Think of one or two things you're nervous about or that could go wrong. Gently imagine it happening and visualize yourself handling it with stoic calm and virtue. Also, imagine some random setbacks. What if my morning alarm doesn't go off and I wake up late? Okay, I'll accept it, skip what I must, and still have a decent day. What if I misplace my phone tomorrow? I'll manage. It's not the end of the world. By running through a few scenarios, you're training your brain to not freak out when life throws curveballs. It's like a mental rehearsal for adversity. Another side of negative visualization is to imagine losing the things you love. This overlaps with mementomori. For instance, imagine if you suddenly had to move out of your home, or if a friend drifted away, or if a privilege you enjoy was taken. How would you cope? It's uncomfortable, but it makes you appreciate that friend or your home more right now. It also gently prepares you for change, which is one constant in life. The Stoics believe that nothing is guaranteed. Health, wealth, even loved ones. By visualizing loss, we paradoxically love and value these things more, and we brace ourselves just in case. This practice isn't about living in fear. It's about cultivating flexibility and gratitude. Your mind becomes stronger because it doesn't live in denial. You're training it to face reality, come what may. All right, so far, we've reviewed the day, journaled our thoughts, contemplated mortality, and mentally rehearsed for challenges. Our mind is feeling clearer and stronger already. There's one more piece to wrap up your Stoic night, and it's a bit more forward-looking. Ending the night by preparing for tomorrow. Preparing for tomorrow. Setting Stoic intentions for the next day. The final ritual is a perfect transition from night to the next day. Preparing for tomorrow is about taking a couple of minutes to set intentions or a plan for the day ahead. Think of it as giving your tomorrow self a head start, guided by Stoic wisdom you cultivated tonight. After all the reflection and visualization, you likely have some insights and priorities in mind. Now you lock them in. As one Stoic-inspired guide suggests, before surrendering to slumber, take a few moments to set intentions for the day ahead. Visualize the challenges and opportunities that may arise and approach them with a Stoic mindset of resilience, acceptance, and wisdom. In short, decide how you will meet the new day before it begins. What this looks like. This can be very practical or more philosophical, or both. On the practical side, you might glance at your calendar or to-do list for tomorrow and jot down a quick plan. For example, all right, tomorrow I have class at 9, a meeting at 2, and I want to hit the gym in the evening. I'll wake up at 7, have a healthy breakfast, and tackle that report in the morning. Writing this down or just mentally noting it prepares your mind to hit the ground running. It also moves any logistic worries out of your head onto paper. So you're not lying awake thinking, I must remember to send that email. You've already made a note of it. This dramatically boosts next day productivity because you're not starting the morning in a fog. You have a roadmap. On the philosophical side, setting intentions means deciding how you want to behave and what attitude to carry. This is where Stoic principles really shine. You might say to yourself, tomorrow, whatever happens, I will keep in mind what's in my control and what isn't. That's the Stoic dichotomy of control. Focus on your own thoughts and actions and accept the rest. Or you might set a specific virtue to practice. I will be patient and calm if any inconvenience comes up. Or I will practice kindness and understanding when dealing with my family. By doing this, you're basically programming your subconscious with a Stoic game plan. You've already visualized some challenges. Now you're affirming how you'll meet them. A quick example. Let's say lately you've been irritated by a coworker who constantly interrupts. While preparing for tomorrow, you decide, if John interrupts me again, I will not get angry. I'll patiently let him finish and then calmly continue or talk to him later about it politely. That's your intention. Come the next day, when John inevitably cuts in, boom, you recall your intention. You're not pulled into annoyance, or at least you handle it better than before. Over time, these nightly intentions make you far more emotionally steady and proactive in life. You start each day with a Stoic mindset already engaged. Another part of preparing for tomorrow could be a brief cleanup or setup. Some people like to lay out their clothes, pack their bag, or tidy the room. It sounds mundane, but it's a signal to your brain that you're ready for a fresh start. The Stoics valued order and purpose. Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. By preparing even in small ways, you're living that principle. Finally, once you've reflected, journaled, remembered mortality, visualized challenges, and set your intentions for tomorrow, close your nighttime ritual with a moment of gratitude or peace. peace. You've done what you can for today and the next day. Now you can sleep, knowing you've followed the Stoic way this evening. Maybe take a deep breath and appreciate the quiet night, or say a simple thank you for getting through another day. Then turn off the light. You're training yourself to end the day on a positive, purposeful note. So there you have it. 5 nighttime Stoic rituals for a stronger mind. Reflection, journaling, memento mori, negative visualization, and preparing for tomorrow. Now, you don't have to do all of them perfectly or even all at once. Feel free to start with 1 or 2 that resonate most. Even just spending 5 minutes each night on reflection and writing a few lines in a journal can make a big difference. The key is consistency. These practices are like exercises for your mind and soul. The more regularly you do them, the more mental strength and clarity you'll build, just as Marcus Aurelius did night after night. Over time, you'll likely notice you're more calm in the face of stress, more focused on what matters and more productive as a result, and more at peace with life's ups and downs. The Stoics knew that the quiet moments at day's end were not wasted time, but prime time for self-improvement. Give these rituals a try tonight. Instead of just crashing into bed or scrolling on your phone, take a few minutes for yourself with these techniques. Your future self will thank you. Remember, each night is an opportunity to reset and strengthen your mind. As the Stoics might say, a strong day begins the night before. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more content on Stoicism, productivity, and self-improvement. We post new videos every week to help you live a better life. And let us know in the comments, which of these nighttime rituals are you most excited to try? Do you already do some of them? Or do you have other evening habits that help you? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Thanks for watching Nighttime Stoic Rituals for a Stronger Mind. Sleep well, stay strong, and see you in the next video. And as always, keep striving to live life the Stoic way. Good night.